Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. This is a replay review purchased by Sheep Thief on Patreon. He's a donator on Patreon. If you'd like your own replay reviews, then head over to Patreon and set up your donation over there. Also, if you'd like one-to-one lessons in Supreme Commander, those are also available. And I've done a few and they've gotten pretty good feedback. So, Sheep Thief sent me this replay and he was he was not happy about what happened here and really wants help with specifically defeating turtling opponents. Now this is a very common problem with players of this rank, so I think it's going to be helpful for a lot of people what we're going to discuss in this replay. So we have this guy Com5 over here. He's UEF. Sheep Thief is Cyber and he's just under 800 rating, and he's going first land, second land, third air. Bit of a mistake with the move order. That's not unusual, happens to everyone. I like the going for the mid reclaim with an early NG is quite good. We have scout, we have two labs actually. Single NG for Com going to the Hydro. So let's focus on Sheep Thief, of course. It's his replay review, so let's see what his eco looks like. You can see now his mass is building because he's getting the reclaim. So he should already have some other helper to help build with his commander. Should already have an engineer assisting him, or maybe two engineers at the Hydro at this point, something like that. Either way, getting this manual reclaim, getting a lot of reclaim in multiple spots at once and not assisting the ACU is a mistake because you will overflow. If you're reclaiming, then you need to assist. It's basically that simple. If you're not reclaiming, you can delay the assistance. Probably focus on expansion instead. But yeah, if you're reclaiming and you're not assisting your commander, then that reclaim is not really going to be used. So we got some kills here. But now the labs will, well, one of them gets just out of range of the striker. Two labs versus striker could be a close fight with good micro. Looks like the labs might find another kill here. That is an engineer. So the labs have done pretty good already. Killed not only an engineer but a mechs here. And now putting some pressure on. Now if you see a mechs built here, this means that the engineer has already built this and has moved on. So you should head south at this point to find the other NG, and then that would be a kill that's available to you. This tank is out of range. So that's just, you know, paying attention to what's happening. If this mechs is here, that means the engineer's built it and has left because you didn't see this mechs built. So obviously the engineer built this and moved down. So once you see that, you should head down, and then you'd be able to get another engineer kill, and then you'd be in an extremely nice position. Another mechs and an engineer goes down there, so this looks like a very good opening already. We can see by the mass bar and stuff, 500 mass ahead, probably due to mid reclaim mainly. Air factory being constructed, but yeah, we have a lot of mass in the bank. We basically just haven't assisted or used enough engineer build power yet. Hydra is complete, which is good. Kind of needed that. Right, so here's one issue. There's a ton of power queued up, and you really don't need to queue that much power on a 5x5 map unless it's Desert Arena. or perhaps there's some other similar map to Desert Arena, but on virtually every 5x5 map you do not want to queue up like 20 pigeons. That's like 15 pigeons maybe. You don't want to queue that many up, because already we're 200 overflow. We need to stop building power already, and there's like twice as much queued up now. So that's going to lead to economic imbalances. It already has, because you have a lot of power here already, plus the hydrocarbon. That's already plenty, and then you have all of this is extra. All of this and a couple of these are extra actually at this point. So yeah, be very careful about power, especially on 5x5. On 10x10, you know, whatever you need power, you're gonna have a lot of mass. Or on Desert Arena, which is 5x5, you're gonna have a lot of mass. But you got to recognize the differences between maps, and this map does not have, it does have quite a bit of mass, but it doesn't have, you know, this much. It's way too much power, unless you start making the gun like right now. So at this point, what's going on? We have much better map control. Basically, the opponent is trapped in his base. We have an air factory, but there's no air scouts queued. Always have an air scout in the queue. You want to have a look at the enemy base. If you don't have an air scout, you can send an inti over. It's not even that bad to send an inti over, but just make an air scout. So enemy commander is here. We're even getting into the base with tanks. I mean, those tanks are not going to reach the hydro. There's no way they should. But yeah, a lot of T1 land queued up. What is not queued up though are some of these mexes, which could be taken. Okay, somehow we did get to the hydro. That's kind of ridiculous. Enemy ACU is farming some kills here, which is not great. Yeah, this is kind of just losing units for free here, but you are going to run to the back. You don't really need to send that many though, to be honest. 2 or 3 mantis would do the same job. Now you've sort of trapped some units there. Okay. I like the ACU movement because somehow the enemy has no tanks. So, well, it's quite dangerous to do this because you don't see any tanks from the opponent and you haven't scouted the base. It means that there could be 20 tanks waiting here or 30 tanks and they just run out and kill you. I mean, it's pretty unlikely because why would they be there? But you know, where are they? They should be somewhere. Your opponent shouldn't have 3 tanks, a scout, or an anti-air and an artillery. So you got to be thinking that, you know, there's some tanks somewhere. But if you had scouted ahead, I mean, this would be good. You could take out both factories. You probably reclaim them would be the fastest way to get rid of them after you kill the tanks. Maybe these guys can run up to the hydro. But what you should be looking at is your eco bar, because now you're stalling hugely in mass. You're overflowing more than half your income is being overflowed in terms of power. So that's a massive error. It's time to reclaim pigeons that you've built. Like, you could reclaim almost all of these, and then you'd be back to close to equilibrium. Also, there's a lot of mass extractors that could have been taken a long time ago, and also plenty of reclaim. Is there any need to build this PD when you have the entire map under your control? Not really. When you have all the pressure, you don't need to invest in PD. Because look, where's his ACU going? Away. There's no threat here, so that's a waste of mass. So yeah, you're just at this point, it's like, okay, you're totally crushing hydras that your opponent has literally nothing, but you still haven't scouted the base. Now you're running directly into the base, and what will we find in here? Okay, so we have T2 mechs, we have T2 land. Now it makes sense why the opponent has no units. He has a pillar, he has a T2 PD now, and the PD will kill all of your units. There's also a couple of pillars. And yeah, all these mantis are gonna die. And you could probably come in and kill this T2 mechs. I'm not sure. Let's see the range on the... Yeah, you'd have to tank damage to kill it, actually. But, okay. So, now we stop. Now we know what's happening. And it's time to... Right, so you should have had this information a long time ago by scouting. But you finally scouted by running your army into his base. So now we know what's happening. Opponent has T2 land, T2 mechs, and that's it. That's all he has. So just, you know, walk away slightly. Yeah, just walk back to here, take the factory reclaim. That's good. Focus on your economy now. Your opponent cannot do anything because he has nothing. So just chill out. Take stock of what's happening. Just be like, okay, what now? I need to zoom out, go back to my shit, and work out what I'm gonna do next. So the first thing you do is you take the entire map. So you go, this is step one, is, you know, walk back here and reclaim the stuff right here and just stand here because you're not under any threat whatsoever. Next thing, send your units around. Send some units here. Send a couple of units here. Send some units over here because there's some shit over here. He has a mix. Next thing, take all of the mass extractors and then start getting some reclaim. Take all of these mexes, get some of this reclaim with an attack move. This guy's reclaiming. Grab another NG, go over here, take this mex. Get the civilian reclaim, which is significant on this map. Get both the civ bases. They're all relevant, okay? So now we've dealt with, you know, okay, and we build this mex as well, and we build this mex. And maybe we even try and take this mex because why not? He has nothing. Okay, so that's cool. Now we've dealt with getting all the mass that's available to us. Next thing. Okay, we have way too much power, so if we're ever building power, we need to stop. We need to not build more. We can just stop building T1 land. Okay? Cancel all these factories. And make one T2. Like one of these ones back here. That's adjacent to a mechs. It's all the way back in the base. Make T2 land. Make a T2 engineer. And make TMD. So all your stuff doesn't get TML'd. Okay? T2, TMD. Then you can make, you know, a P-gen if you want. You probably need a T2 P-gen to be good. And then you're probably going to make, you know, T2 units. You're going to make tanks. And you're going to make MMLs. Okay, this kind of stuff, right? So now, if you do that, then you're winning. It's game over. I mean, you're already winning. But once you do that, you just take the whole map back because he has nothing. Take every bit of mass on the map. Upgrade to T2. Then you can like upgrade the commander. After that you can make gun. Would be pretty good. I would probably make gun. And then we're good. And then the opponent can't do anything. From there, you know, you can upgrade mexes, you can do anything you want. Okay, but we're gonna see what happens instead. So that's the blueprint. Because this is the thing. When you get this is just sudden new information. You're like, okay, you probably suspected something is going on in his base. Now you know exactly what's happening. So this is the point where you know, recalibrate what you're doing. So we see some of this happen. For example, there's no more additional T1 land factories going up. That's good. There's a T2 mex happening. T2 mex is not the priority though. The priority is T2 land because the opponent has T2 land. Okay? Instead of T2 mex, your priority should be getting all of the mass extractors, which is not happening. And this is the biggest mistake. You have the map available to you. You've worked to get the map and now you're not taking it. You did the hard part, which is making sure he can't have any of it. And then the easy part is just you taking it, which you didn't do. Also, this mantis is a bit too close for comfort. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, you're making T2. I would advise the gun here, not T2. And so you run in and you find a commander, and yeah, you can't run in here without your own commander. Even with your own commander, it's going to be tricky. But now you're just moving in, and okay, you focus on the ACU, but he's going to walk out of range. All these guys have to run in. And look, you can see 3 PDs here. So there's no possible way to get... Like, the number of Mantis and Medusa you need to overrun that is huge when it's defended by a commander and pillars. And now you're going to go back in again. So this is mass donation. This is like... Once again... You're thinking about the units, but the units aren't... These units can't win the game for you. What wins the game is zooming out, looking back at the rest of the map. Now all these units are gone, so hopefully you'll start to focus on other things, because your mass deficit is huge, because your T2 ACU is now building stuff. So let's see, what's he got? He's just got the gun and PDs, and now he has 2 T2 Maxes. So, and he also has more reclaim available now. Okay, T2 land is up, that's good. It's time to make MMLs and tanks. But still the mexes are not taken. There's still no mexes taken. This needs to be plastered on everyone's wall. Build mass extractors. It's the #1 mistake that you can make in the game, is to not build mass extractors. It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's like somebody just is giving you money and you're like, and then you just don't take it. Free money, and you decide you just don't want it, even though you desperately need the money for something. You're just like, well, I'm just gonna go over here and I don't know. I don't need the money, I guess, but I do. But like, okay, T2 engineer, I can't think of a good analogy for not building mexes because it's so alien to my brain to not build them that I cannot analogize it. So we got way too many T2 engineers. Don't build engineers on repeat. You don't need 800 mass of them. And now you've queued up 2 P-gens. Okay, so a P-gen is 1200 mass. It's 1200 mass, and you don't really even need 1 of them because you're not taking the mass. So one is fine. This is a very quick way to build one, by the way. Building 1 is fine. Building 2 is throwing mass once again into the bin for no reason, and really it's super simple. You need to build the mass extractor. So now, several minutes after they have become available, some of them have been queued up, right? Some of them. The one next to your ACU is actually T2 and it's almost finished, but it hasn't been completed. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say other things. Like, say for example, you're building T2 mexes, right? Your eco, like, this is very, very bad eco management. Okay, no other way to put it. You don't need T2 P-gens. Making T2 mexes when T1 mexes are available is nonsensical. T2 mex costs, you know, like what? Okay, wait, let me find one that isn't upgrading. 900 mass, right? 900 mass. You get an additional +4. 900 mass gives you as much as 2 T1 mexes. A T1 mex costs 36 mass. Okay. So would you rather spend 72 mass on mexes that are available to you, or would you rather spend 900 mass to get the same return? The answer is obvious. Okay. Next thing, we have 2 MMLs and we have 16 hoplites. So why build hoplites instead of MMLs? MMLs will break through this base. Now there's a shield and there's TMD. So what we need to do is target the shield and the TMD, get rid of the defenses, and then everything else will die. Now if you had 5, 6 MMLs, then it will be possible to break through this. With 2 MMLs, it's not possible. They are worth 400 mass. The defenses are worth, the shield alone, 600 mass. Plus TMD, they're 560 mass, so that is 1160 mass defending against 400 mass in MMLs. So you can't expect to get through. Even at that, the shield is dropping. So just add a few more MMLs instead of hoplites, and they are about this. They are the same cost, hoplites and MMLs. So you could have potentially 20 MMLs, and his entire base would be wiped, and the game would be over. Now instead you have a load of hoplites, which are difficult to use. They're not suitable for a scenario where you're fighting T2PDs. And okay, you do find this little base down here and kill it. You are finally grabbing mexes, and there's a few more MMLs coming out. So we have 4 MMLs now. Okay, so ACU with the gun and T2 probably is extremely good versus hoplites when they don't have stealth. If you have stealth, then actually the gun range is obviously far less valuable because he won't be able to see you, he won't be able to use the gun range. But as it is, he's absolutely murdering these units and taking reclaim, which he desperately needs, and he has T3 land now. So more TMD is going up. He waited this long to build TMD because there wasn't enough MMLs to break through. Now with 3 MMLs firing and 1 idle, you actually broke through the shield and killed the TMD. So this could have been done a long time ago. Now the ACU is under attack once again. He's about to get another vet though, which will give him a major boost. And yeah, he's up over 10,000 HP again. This artillery is doing a bit of damage. And yeah, the MMLs have retreated now. So let's stop here again. So what's going wrong? We have the wrong units, and we don't have enough of the right units. And now actually the opponent is almost T3 air. And not that he's going to really be able to make many T3 air units with this much power, but he's almost T3 air, and he has T3 land. And he has some Titans, and he has pillars, and he has 3 T2 mechs. Okay, and the game continues. And the panic, the longer this goes on, the worse it is mentally. So stop the hoplites. They have not worked at all in this game. Once again, just, you know, relax a little bit. Take stock once again. We have loads of time. We have loads of time because think about it. The opponent still cannot do anything. He still can't do shit to you. Okay? So again, what do we want to do? Well, let's just fix what we're doing. Let's stop making hoplites because they suck in this scenario. Let's go grab all these engineers and just go move order, attack move, and take all the reclaim because it's free mass. Literally free mass. I don't even have to build anything. I have the engineers. The mass is on the floor. It's free money. Go take it. What else are you doing? There's nothing else that you could possibly do that would be more valuable at this point than simply clicking on the mass that's on the ground. Right, so next, the enemy has a base. Okay. He has one base, so yes, build trebuchets. Okay, that's all. Get a radar a bit further forward. Now you had a radar, but it died, so just build another one a bit further back. Like, let's see, how far does the artillery reach? Okay, it reaches pretty far. But you could build it just outside of range. Build a shield. Use your T2 commander to build a shield. Get a base up. Put your treb under the shield. And all your future trebs under that shield. And then just treb his entire base until nothing is left. And then the game's over. That's it. Just build trebuchets under a shield from your commander. Get some radar. And wipe his entire base with T3 artillery. And then the game's over. And there's nothing he can do about it. What could he possibly do? He could walk into you with some T3 units and his gun comm. In which case, you would have PDs. Because once your ACU builds a shield, you can just build PDs there to secure it. And you just build artillery from your base. Once you have like 5 artillery, there's no need to build more. You could build 4 or 5 artillery. Then you build bricks. And you just leave them all right there. And then, you know, what can he do? He can't do anything. He has no mass. He has 3 T2Xs. That's it. He has 1 artillery. That's not breaking through anything. His commander and some T3 units is what you have to worry about. That's all. Okay, so you have a treb firing. 1 treb with no stealth and no shield is incredibly vulnerable to a T2 artillery. So you need a stealth. Better yet, get a shield. Better yet, get both. Have a mobile stealth. You have loads of factories. Mobile stealth and then a shield gen. So yeah, this treb is in danger. For sure. So let's see what happens. He's moving out now with his comm. Slightly, not really, slightly. He's just taking mass, free mass that's been here for ages. And yeah, still, to get all of this mass. Mass extractors, mass reclaim. Always mass. Okay, we're building bricks. Trebuchets are what we need. We're fighting a fire base. He has only a fire base. So just kill him from range. So we're attacking with a load of hoplites versus T3 units. And we have 1 brick. Let's see what happens. There's also a gun commander. The hoplites are doing pretty well. There goes 1 brick, just overcharged immediately by the ACU. Hoplites are not good against the ACU because they miss frequently. Also, this ACU is a beast with 4 veterancies. And now we're in range of all the T2 PDs. T3 artillery goes down, brick goes down. ACU is at 4,000 HP. TMD is dying. PD is still not dying. Another brick goes down. Hoplite goes down. Now there's no bricks left. Shield is online still. And the ACU has gotten its final vet level. So now what's the scenario? What is the scenario now? This artillery still lives. The shields are here. The HQs are here. All that's been killed is a few T3 units. You've lost... There's now 9,000 mass in his base. Which is, you know, a quarter of the mass he's gotten in the entire 28-minute game. So this mass is very easily gettable for him. Should he want it. He's making T3 Pigeon, by the way. So there's tons of mass here. You still can't kill this commander. It still has 9,000 HP. And this brick is going to die, so you're going to lose a 4th brick here. Very soon. You just can't afford to lose that brick. Another brick under attack. Okay, comm dropping lower actually. Under 4,000. Look at all these hoplites. The hoplites are terrible versus T2PD. So T2PD outranges hoplites, and hoplites have very low HP. So they're really, really bad. ACU now drops in under the shield. Another brick goes down, and let's check the damage on the T2PDs. So there was 3, I believe, right? I only see 2 right now. So this one has 3,600 mass killed. This one has 5,400 mass killed. It costs like 500 mass. Okay, at least the shields are dead now, but it did cost all of your bricks. MMLs are attacking. Are we gonna lose another brick to the ACU? We definitely are. And to T2PDs, yeah, there it goes. The MMLs are actually crushing. They may kill the HQ. The Treb is also, well, the Treb is idle for some reason. I'm not sure. You got to be careful not to move the Treb around too much, because every time it moves, it has to basically pack itself up and then redeploy itself. So try to avoid moving your trebuchets and your other T3 artillery, unless they're Aeon. The Aeon don't have to deploy, and they can fire while moving, but every other T3 artillery has to deploy to start shooting. So yeah, if you had more than one of these, the base would already be dead. So again, still attack from range, because all we've seen, okay, the ACU is coming in to save the day here. All we've seen is the ACU crushing everything that comes into range plus T2PDs, when all you need are units that can attack from back here. The trebuchets. I mean, this treb is not close enough to actually attack. But once again, we're walking into range of T2PDs that are under shields, and we're going to lose our stuff once again. 2 more bricks deposited into the enemy base. This T3 Air HQ is almost dead. And the ACU now is walking forward, and there's no base here to protect the units. So the ACU could just walk forward here, and there's nothing you can do to stop him. Wow, he actually dodged that that artillery. Now you're scouting with loads of inties. Oh, he didn't dodge that one. So now he has his own T3 artillery, which is firing back at you, plus the T2 artillery. So let's stop once again. Now the opponent has tons of mass. Okay. He still has virtually nothing though, right? He still has nothing. So we're still in a good position. Still, even now we're in a good position. What do we need though? Well, still we need to, well, I'm worried already about these bricks. We just need more artillery. T3 Air is not really the answer, especially not with only 2 T2 pigeons. And you still refuse to take this mass, which is sitting there ready for you. Just make more artillery. Now you're making T3 NGs. I don't think that's necessary at all. Maybe making 1 is fine, but making them on repeat is not fine. So let's see what the 3 trebs can do. There is a 4th one coming. Okay, we're gonna waste more bricks. You could have like 15 bricks by now if you just didn't send them in, and then you could send them in and actually kill everything probably. Okay, your trebs are dying to the enemy artillery because you have no stealth and you have no shield. And so the shields would have dropped if you had a base to protect the artillery. The shields would have dropped. You can see they're very low now, but you only have one artillery left. Second artillery arrives, and it may just die immediately. We'll see. Looks like they've switched targets to a place that is not as good to attack. And the ACU is coming. And that's going to be another dead treb. Once again, the problem of just having no fire base to protect these guys. And there, the shield even dropped here with the final shot, but now you lose all of them. And the opponent now has Percy's and shields and T2PDs, and this number of bricks cannot possibly defeat that. It's simply not possible. It's not enough bricks. You're going after the P-Gen now, which is actually dying, but it's not going to die, is it? Oh, the shield pops on and the brick dies. And that is 3, 6, 7 more bricks dead. So yeah, this is just, I guess this is something that happens at this level. It's basically just, I don't know if it's like a mindset thing where you're like, oh, I'm winning, I've won. Maybe it's like the whole, maybe it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like you think you've won already, or you deserve to just, the game to be over. But you don't have to deliver checkmate. But it's really simple. Your opponent has one base, and really doesn't have much of anything. All you need is some long-range weaponry, and behind that, while you're keeping the pressure on him, all you need to do is keep the pressure on him, and then behind that you can do whatever you want. You can upgrade stuff, but this is the worst possible approach. You send in 3 bricks here, 5 bricks here, 2 bricks here, 10 hoplites here, into the exact place where they cannot work. Now, if you waited and all you did was build bricks, at this point in the game you might have 40 bricks. Now, would it be possible for him to stop 40 bricks? No. Would it have been possible for him to stop 20 bricks earlier on? No. But he can stop 5 bricks. He can stop 3 bricks. So if you want to make the bricks, then just don't send them in to be overcharged and killed by PDs as well. I would suggest making firebase, making trebs, and then the game ends. And that's it. And all you need is maybe some PDs to keep his ACU away and his units away, and maybe a brick or 2 to protect the trebs, but never to send them in to the only place where they are going to die. You know, bricks are great against armies. They're good against other units. In small numbers, they're not good against an ACU. And they're definitely not good against shielded T2PDs. That's not their role. So there's just infinite mass donations and, you know, incorrect units. And yeah, don't build hoplites. I think the game, there's many different ways the game could have ended in your favor. Building a lot of MMLs instead of those hoplites would have been much better. I think he would have died then. At that point, there's no way you can stop 10 Vipers, to be honest. I don't think he can stop that at all. He probably can't even stop less than that. But you only had like 1 or 2 for a long time. Once you actually had 5 in a good position, you almost killed the T3 Air HQ. So, like, you know, get the Vipers going, get the Trebs going. If you want to beat a turtle, use long-range weapons. It's very simple. Do not suicide tanks into a turtle. That's the main mistake that people make when they're against a guy who's just sitting in his base with PDs. They use tanks. Why would you use tanks? This makes no sense to me. Use long-range weapons. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry if I sound very frustrated. But I hope this helps people. Hopefully you do not fall prey to UEF turtles on ladder anymore. Inform the people around you how to not fall prey to these turtlers. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.